Hey, yo, everyone. I hope everyone's doing great. I am excited. So, it's a little bit of a special video for me. I've been waiting for these for quite a while, and these are the JoyToy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures. These were only China exclusive, and I believe Taiwan was one of them that they would ship to. Singapore, I think, was also another one, but mainly in the China areas where they were shipping these to. And I got these off of LT Cave. Got all four. You see them back there. And let me tell you, these look phenomenal. I wish this ring light didn't do this much glare on these things, but when I tell you the packaging on these is super nice. Each figure has, I'm gonna kind of lay these videos out in a way where as we go along each turtle will be revealed, but this packaging is super cool. It's very different from what JoyToy produces. They typically do they do the figure in the front, figure in the back, but they don't do this clear window that most JoyToy figures do or don't have. So this is super nice to see, and I'm loving it. But yeah, so our first figure today is going to be none other than Leonardo. He's one of my favorite turtles. I mean, blue is one of my favorite colors. But yeah, we'll get this out of the box. I won't make this too long, take up your time, but I will go in depth on this figure. I'm super excited. So we'll cut straight to the box, or what's inside the box. Can't even talk right now. What's inside the box? Alright, so we have the accessories. I switched out his hands, so I switched out his hands. He comes with fists, so it's going to be a little bit different if you do end up buying yours. I put the where he holds onto his katanas. I had to put him in there. I had to see how he looked at the katanas. But see the figure there. We see some pizza. Each character has a pizza slice, which is pretty funny. They have their, I don't know what this is actually called, but I'm assuming their communication device. You see some katanas. These are the katanas that have what was it called? Mirage look to it, where it's swinging so fast it's kind of giving an after effect. Got his katanas there. I'm looking at, they look like different colors. We'll have to take a closer look on that. His skateboard, his stand. All the figures have stands where you can connect them all together. We see a pair of open palm hands, his closed fists, and I want to say this is his holding. This would be his holding his katanas, and these right here would probably be his pizza slice, or holding another one of the little accessories that he has. So we'll take a closer look at this. And what's actually under here? Oh, sweet! I didn't even see this. Comes with a little stand if you don't want to use the stand that's provided. But this is super cool because they make these for the Warhammer figures, but they're all clear and they don't have any special designs to them. But this is super cool. So yeah, we'll get the figure out of the box and see what we have. Alright, so next up we got the accessories. I'm going to do these accessories first, and then we'll move on to the figure in a bit. So you can already see some really nice washes on the palms here, especially on the bandages. I'm glad that JoyToy does this. It really brings out how thick some of these garments are on certain figures, and it just gives a little bit more contrast and more depth, which I really enjoy. Not a lot of companies do that, but JoyToy does it, and I'm willing to pay a little bit extra for that. We got his closed fists. These are on him already, so whenever you see these are gonna be on him, or when you buy the figures, these are already gonna be on the figures themselves. Same thing, washes really brings out the detail in their fingers. And then we have his, I'm assuming this is actually his holding his pizza and his a telecommunication device. I would assume, I would have to kind of, because these are very thin compared to these, so I'm assuming these are a lot more tight compared to those. So we will see. But I'm looking at those, and these aren't as circular as these, so we'll see. Next up, you got his pizza or pizza. That's how I say pizza. It's weird. His communicator, and they look nice. Look at the detail on that. Hopefully the camera picks it up. Super, super small, but they were able to get this. And if I'm being honest, I don't know exactly what this is. If you let me know in the comments, maybe I'll figure it out later. But this, like, attention to detail is what I really enjoy about JoyToy. And their pizza, just super simple, nothing to it, just cheese, pepperoni, thin crust. It doesn't look like it. Maybe. Moving on to his weapons. These are his katanas, and these are so cool. Each turtle has a unique style on their weapons, and it's so cool. These are, even you can see how it's giving that kind of bending. It's, how would I say, like, it's physics. I know, I can picture it in my head, but it's, bending the katana itself. It looks like it's kind of doing a fast motion or sweep. Super, super cool. All right, you see his katanas? Yeah, these are, I think this one in particular is in a different color, which I don't mind. It's very green. I'll give it that. It's very green compared to the other katanas. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't mind. They're not bent, which is really nice. Usually whenever you get weapons and figures in more mainline figures, you'll get kind of bending of the plastic, which sometimes I believe doesn't, I believe it happens whenever you take it off the hot press and it's still moldy, or moldy, it's still warm and still malleable. So over time, if you mess with it too much, it'll when during the process it'll start bending weird. But these are really nice. Going on to their skateboard. Each character has a different colored skateboard. Leo has blue wheels. Raphael has red. Mikey has orange, and then Donatello has purple. They're all unique in a sense. But look at this. This is just super cool. And I was looking at the little rivets. Crazy. Like, I'm sure someone at JoyToy hands paints these, which is crazy. I hope they give them a raise, because this is, really, really nice, attention to details. I can see why they pay so much for these. If it was a machine doing this, I'm sure because they're trying to make so many of these, it'll be all over the place. But hey, maybe they have a machine that does that perfect. Props to them. But if it's, a worker out there, mega props to them. But this is super nice. Then lastly, we got the stand. This is a pretty hollow stand. Yeah, that's what I figured. I don't know if this piece comes off, which doesn't look like it. I doubt this actually. I mean, this probably does come on or come off, but I would say it's probably held on with some glue, so I wouldn't really mess with it. And you can probably put it back with glue, but why risk it? This stand doesn't have as much detail compared to the figure, but it does not look bad. If you have all of them all together, connected, it will look super good. It just doesn't feel as premium as the figure itself, but we're not buying the stand, we're buying the figure itself. But yeah, it has little pegs right there. You can probably you can put them on the figure on top of that, and it'll stay. So super nice. Lastly was this here. Forgot to mention this. This is, like I said, a super simple stand. This is, I believe, now I don't collect all of their other lines, which I want to collect their Infinity Stars, Infinity Stars, their Star Warrior of the Stars, I believe it was called, and there's another, or real life soldiers. I'm mixing one of the three. I don't know if they come with unique stands, but this is a pretty neat little token, I would say. I mean, you'd probably have them on top of this, but this is really nice to have. So yeah. So the figure. Now, the figure, to move some of these things to the side, probably might put that later. So, this figure feels premium. This, and I didn't expect anything less from JoyToy themselves. This just feels super good. The joints are solid. They don't feel like they're gonna break. Now, there is some limited posability because of the shell, which I completely understand. This is not something like, oh, why can't you move, this way or even more that way, because of the shell. It'd look weird if they had it two parts. I mean, you can't. There's one thing they had to sacrifice. So, put his little thingy down here. Put it down. I'm glad that they made these pieces loose, not tight. It's playing with the figure. It does feel like these pieces move around a little too loose, but because it's the elbows, there's some parts where when you bend the elbow, it'll start squeezing and tugging on the actual, the pad. When you get to this point, there's nothing holding on to that, which, like I said, I'd rather have this. For something like this, I would rather have this option compared to something that was super tight, or even then, something that was ingrained to the elbow itself, which I think wouldn't look too bad, but I think having this option would be the best, because you can just definitely pose them however which way you want. The head sits on feels like a a barbell joint, so two balls in the very end of the stick. You have the regular shoulder joint there, hinge joint. Does not have butterfly joints, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't not matter. I don't think this figure would need it. I think this figure would do just fine. Oh my gosh, going a little too fast for myself. The elbow does not have double jointed elbows, but like I said, super good articulation. You just gotta move this thing around, and you can definitely get some decent articulation there. The arms sit on a barbell joint. The torso moves this much, and I believe sits on the torso itself sits on a ball joint, but it's not a double ball joint. It is just a single one. Same thing with the torso. Actually, is a T joint, T hip joint, which is pretty neat. You just pop them back in. The see the thighs there. It has thigh swivel, which is super nice. The knees do have double jointed knees, so that is pretty nice to have. Although, like I said, it doesn't move as much because of the knee pads. These pieces right here are vastly different. Even though you have double jointed knees, it's not even a camera. Even though you have double jointed knees, it doesn't move as much because of the knee pad itself. But like I said, it is a good option to have, but I would say it doesn't hinder the posability of this figure. And you see a hinge joint there going forward and back. Goes this much, which is crazy, and this much forward, which is pretty much standing. But it does have a swivel here, which is really neat. Now, let's talk about the paint overall. You can definitely see there are washes throughout the figure. So I'm glad that they did this. These turtles are very muscular. You can see like veins here and there. It would most definitely get lost with the color. If it was just one solid color, it would definitely get lost. The washes are meant to bring out some of the deeper crevices or parts of the body that you normally wouldn't see. And like, for example, I think there's a good example. This here, you can kind of see where it meets here. Let me see if I can use a katana. Still need to give myself a poker. This piece here, and this part right here, and this here. If there was no wash there, it'd be very hard, depending on certain lighting, hard to notice what parts of the muscle that is. Washes are kind of defeat that or make it more pronounced, which I enjoy or which I love. That JoyToy does that. The headbands themselves, I just forgot to mention, don't move, which is kind of a bummer because each one of these or each one of the turtles have different size bandanas. I think Mikey has the shortest bandana in the figures themselves, but I think they do just fine. It's I do wish though they had different types of bandanas you can put on them, but it's okay, it's fine. And this little waist thing here is I actually, oh my gosh, I thought this was just one piece. No, okay, I was thinking ahead of myself. So yeah, I mean, overall, this is where you put the katanas, which is really nice. Each figure is unique. Each of their their shells are unique. I love that. I am so happy that they decided to do that with the figures. When these first were announced, not everyone was excited. They were wondering what scale these were, and they were hoping these were 1/12. Come to find out, they're 1/18. People weren't, too excited about that, but they were interested. But people didn't like the design. I told my friends that this looks and reminds me of the Michael Bay movies, which I know not a lot of people like, but I liked how each turtle was unique with the mix of the 2003 show, which was my favorite turtle show. That's what I grew up on, and I will say, and I will die on that hill, in my opinion, best turtle show ever. But yeah, we'll swap out the hands and we'll kind of put them in different poses. We'll put them on the stand, and I'll give my final thoughts, even though I give my somewhat thoughts right there. I'll be right back. All right, so here he goes with the swords themselves. Looks nice. I am astounded with how these look. I've noticed that he doesn't have as much of an ab crunch as I thought. I think that could be the joint itself. I think when I was looking at it, yeah, that's what I suspected. The actual socket of the joint is pretty driven up in there, so I'll have to contact LT Cave and hopefully I get that switched out. But overall, this is really nice. I am super excited. And put them on the stand itself. Give me 1 second. Oh yeah, that's the one. This is the one. I love this figure. I'm super excited to review the other ones, and I have this kind of this video idea what I want to do, but you'll figure it out by the second video. So you'll pretty much, I'll give up all my cards in the second video. Final thoughts. This, if you're a Turtles fan and you love the way that they designed the Turtles were designed in the Michael Bay movies, but you also love 2003 show, this is it. These are the figures that you will want. Now, I'm pretty sure some people have some questions, because I know some people have the JoyToy Warhammer figures. These are a little bit, this is going to be a side by side. Put these down, kind of have them posing ready. Oh my gosh, you know, sometimes no matter what figure it is, you always got to find the sweet spot. So let me get my other Space Marine. Alrighty, so that is the side by side. I just got this one in. I will make a review on him, hopefully later in the future. But these guys right here, these guys are what I'm gonna review. That's the scale, and you already know, if you have Space Marines already, Space Marines are kind of small compared to all the other figures. But gotta remember, this is true to 1/18th scale, as well as this. But even though this isn't exactly 1/18th, like, you know, much smaller, it's true to 1/18th. So if you have a 1/18th scale figure, which I will bring out another one, this guy right here, this is my Vitruvian Hacks Knight of Asperity. It's probably like the second version I have. That's he's on a stand, so it looks a little bit different. They're about all the same size. These right here, he's a little bit taller only because of the stand, but trust me, these guys are the same size and true to scale, like I said. So let me get these figures out of the way. This is definitely a need. If you want me to go a little bit more in depth on the other accessories here, I didn't put these on here because I feel like he'd be rolling on my table. I don't have a sturdy enough table right now, but this is a must-have. I got mine out to a cave. I believe I got it for 145 for all four. And yeah, I don't know how to end this video because this is such a this figure has me speechless. This is probably going to be one of my top 10 figures of the year, which I'm not going to spoil everything, but I feel like I've spoiled it throughout the entirety of my videos that I posted throughout the year. This is a must-have. If you love turtles, this is a really nice figure to have. Even the other figures are super nice. I've opened them once and put them back in the box just to make sure that some of the joints are, you know, good. They're great. They're great. I'm definitely gonna have to get the shredder. I believe that's also a China exclusive, so I'm gonna check on LT Cave and pick them up there, and you know, go from there. So yeah, if you have this figure, let me know what you think. I am very excited, or very excited. I am very excited to know what other people think. If they got theirs in, or if they just got one of the characters, you know, let me know. I don't know if I'm gonna get Cowboy. I don't know if I'm gonna get Bebop or Rocksteady. I don't think I like them enough to get them, but we'll see. Yeah, so leave a comment. You know, leave a like if you love turtles. I would say that's more than enough reason to drop a like. And yeah, I will catch you in the next turtle video that comes out. Thank you.